preliminary hearing for Brandon Ortiz-Vite taking place this morning in Grand Rapids.
Ortiz-Vite is an undocumented immigrant, and he's charged with shooting and killing Ruby Garcia in March. The judge sent him to circuit court to stand trial on 5 charges. News Channel 3's Carter Landis was at the hearing and joins us live. Good afternoon, Carter.
Yeah, Julie, Ortiz-Vite faces 5 charges: felony murder, open murder, carjacking, carrying a concealed weapon, and felony firearm. There were multiple witnesses taking the stand today, including Ortiz-Vite's childhood friend, who he was living with at the time of the incident. A Michigan State Police trooper, a Michigan State Police detective, and a forensic pathologist also testifying. The forensic pathologist, David Allen Start, revealing he discovered 4 gunshot wounds in Ruby Garcia's body, 2 to the head, 1 to the hand, and 1 to her upper arm. Start determining the cause of death was a gunshot wound. A video played in court showing a conversation between Ortiz-Vite and MSP trooper David Williams, Ortiz-Vite reiterating fear for his safety and asking for protection. He can be heard in the video saying members of Garcia's family want to take justice into their own hands.
And when it comes to death, for what I did, it's not going to be just a shot to the head, it's going to be torture.
Michigan State Police Detective Aaron Trubergen joined the conversation that you saw in that video. He spoke a lot about the conversation between Garcia and Ortiz-Vite that led up to the incident of her death.
I know that I committed a murder, but I'd rather serve the time.
Tonight, a chilling 911 call from a man confessing to the murder of a woman on US 131. The call comes from 25-year-old Brandon Ortiz-Vite, an immigrant who police say was back in the country illegally after being deported some 4 years ago. He admits he shot and killed Ruby Garcia of Grand Rapids. News Channel 3's Autumn Pitcher is joining us live in studio with a breakdown of exactly what was said on that call. Autumn.
Yes, Andy. Brandon Ortiz-Vite fled to a church in Allegan County after he says he shot Garcia. The pastor there believes a Palm Sunday service he went to 2 days later led to his confession.
I'm calling because I want to turn myself in for a murder that I committed 2 nights ago.
Brandon Ortiz-Vite, an undocumented immigrant, calls Allegan County Central Dispatch confessing to murdering his girlfriend, Ruby Garcia.
I know what I did was wrong, and I'll do the time. I just don't want to die inside.
The two were riding in the car together on US 131. Ortiz-Vite says during an argument he shot Ruby multiple times.
The victim's family, they want me. All of them want me dead.
The Mexican citizen stole Ruby's car after dumping her body, driving 40 miles away, then wandering into Genghis United Methodist Church in Allegan County. It's where he made the 911 call after attending a church service. Meanwhile, expressing concern about his safety multiple times to the dispatcher.
When I turn myself in, I know they're going to kill me in jail. They're going to try to kill me. Can I be in solitary?
Yeah, we'll let them know
that you're...
We'll let them know that you're concerned about that, okay?
Can you please guarantee my safety in there? Just please, I don't want to die in jail, you know.
Just a day before, Ortiz-Vite spoke to Pastor Marcia Tucker after getting into the church by a door that was accidentally left open. Tucker told News Channel 3 she spoke to Ortiz-Vite, who seemed very upset but didn't disclose he had just killed someone. After crying, Ortiz-Vite told Tucker he had a family in Grand Rapids who wouldn't have him. She prayed with him. The next morning, he listened to Tucker's sermon, which she believes led him to turn himself in. Getting choked up on the phone, telling police he'd cooperate.
I do have a gun on me, but when you guys come, I will set it on the floor, wherever you guys, I'm not gonna use it or nothing.
Ortiz-Vite told police he purchased the firearm illegally. He's charged with Garcia's murder and due back in court May 29th for a preliminary hearing. Now, of course, we have these audio recordings on our website. That's WWMT.com. Live in studio, Autumn Pitcher, News Channel 3.
Hi, Autumn. An illegal Mexican immigrant is now charged with the murder of a woman in Grand Rapids. Her body was found on US 131 over the weekend. Good evening. I'm Andy Pepper.
And I'm Jessica Harthorn. Tonight, police say the suspect is no stranger to them. 25-year-old Brandon Ortiz-Vite has run-ins dating back to 2017, but he was deported to Mexico in 2020.
News Channel 3's Autumn Pitcher is following up with federal agencies. They still have questions on how Ortiz-Vite made it back into the country and when.
If troopers identify an undocumented individual, they're required to report it to Immigration Customs Enforcement, better known as ICE. Now, ICE would then determine if that individual would stay in the country or at what point they would be deported. A body laying on the side of US 131 near Leonard Street is what a Michigan State trooper spotted Friday, pulling over to find Ruby Garcia of Grand Rapids dead. Court documents reveal she was in the car with her boyfriend, illegal immigrant Brandon Ortiz-Vite, when an argument took place and she was shot multiple times. 25-year-old Ortiz-Vite calling Allegan County Central Dispatch Sunday to turn himself in. Court documents reveal he confessed to shooting Ruby, then dumping her body on the side of the freeway and taking her car, which was found abandoned in South Haven. The illegal Mexican citizen, a familiar face for law enforcement, having several run-ins date back to 2017 in Grand Rapids when he was cited for driving while unlicensed or on a license that wasn't valid. 6 months later, he was arrested and charged with illegal entry into a residence in Wyoming. But even so, Ortiz-Vite remained in the country for 3 more years. Calhoun County Prosecutor David Gilbert says deportation is a lengthy process.
I've dealt with cases before where we're dealing with people that are in the process of being deported, but you've got appellate rights and there are adjournments and other things that actually stand in the way of deportation.
We reached out to Immigration Customs Enforcement today to find out why the Mexican citizen was allowed to stay in the country. Hi, this is Autumn Pitcher with News Channel 3 and did not hear back. The 25-year-old finally removed from the country in 2020 following a drunk driving arrest in Grand Rapids.
In talking to the sheriff, most of the people that are held by INS are being deported because they've been convicted of serious crimes, not because they're in our country illegally.
A statement we received from ICE says Brandon returned to the U.S. at a, quote, unknown date and location without inspection by an immigration official. Kent County Prosecutor Chris Becker says it's not a one-off case.
So we've got 2 cases now where it resulted in homicides, but that probably would, ignores all the other types of cases out there that are, your quote-unquote normal, your low level that don't result in homicide.
Back in 2020, a bench warrant was issued for his arrest when he failed to appear at a settlement conference. Now, it's 4 years later, and Ortiz-Vite was finally arraigned. He is scheduled to be back in court on April 9th on the current felony charges that he faces. Now, Gilbert says if Ortiz-Vite was sentenced to prison, he will most likely serve this time in the United States before he's deported. In Grand Rapids, Autumn Pitcher, News Channel 3.